Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ash, and once again, it's time to look at an upcoming DLC for RPG developer Bakin, this time the PixelScapes Castle DLC, which we will now edit in read-only mode after selecting from the game gallery straight from the top menu in Bakin itself. This DLC has 181 terrains, 89 3D stamps, and 5 actually sample maps. We'll get the restricted editing mode message, and we'll just go ahead and hit OK for that. We're not going to edit anything. If you couldn't tell by now, this was designed by Jacob Mann for Smile Boom, so this will go perfectly with your PixelScapes town pack. Like that other pack, if you rotate the camera all the way around back, there might be some sprite elements here that don't show from behind due to back face culling, so we will just kind of maintain a consistent front facing, which is the way that these assets are meant to be used. And I'm not saying that that's going to be the case 100% of the time. You may be able to use these by walking all the way around them, giving your players cameras that rotate 360 degrees. We might not catch every single object, if any, present in this DLC that has back face culling turned on, so testing for your project is always going to be your best bet. I actually just want to jump right into the sample game, so we'll hit test play right now. PixelScapes Castle, and our controller works perfectly well, and it looks like we do have full control of the camera for this demo. I think that it wouldn't be the case if the creator wanted this sample pack to have limited camera functionality, but enough about that. Let's go ahead and run into our castle. We get a nice little cutscene here. Something I wanted to talk about was versatility of the assets, as usual. Those who might find this to be a bit restrictive for their project can reimagine some of this stuff in their project in different capacities. So right now we've got access to all of these tiles that we could easily put with our town pack and make lots of new lots of new town configurations. And the reason that I may be bringing up that particular pack many times in this video is because it's important for a lot of creators to have visual cohesiveness in their project, visual congruity, visual compatibility. And so with that being said, these two packs having the same creator, same artist, they ought to go together 100%. Lovely little flower garden out here, nestled in some protective hedges, decorative columns, a lovely bridge going over our animated tiles in the water, just a gentle movement of the moat surrounding the castle. Pretty sure these are meant to be statues because we have actual knights here that will not talk to us. They're a bit stuck up, aren't they? Let's go ahead and explore the other side of this and show off these assets. More flowers. We could always do with more flowers. More flora, fauna. We've got vines creeping up the walls here. And one of the things I wanted to point out, versatility-wise, you could definitely use these castle walls as dungeon walls if you are so inclined. You can definitely make dungeon environments such as abandoned areas, abandoned towns, abandoned castles, ruins. We don't explicitly have broken down, run down assets right here, right now, but you can still make places that are decrepit, that have not seen the touch of a living thing in many a year, perhaps a century. And so those are just some of the options. I can see definitely legacy dungeons being made with assets like this as well. So with the castle pack, not only are you looking at being able to expand your towns, but also create lavish, lovely, beautiful castle interior and exteriors. Wasn't I just in here? Didn't I just... this must just be like the darker version of this room, honestly. It looks nice. We've got a nice candle sconce on the wall. We've got our chandelier up top. And then we're back into the daytime map when we go through that door. So just gives you a good idea of what kind of look you can pull off with the different lighting environments in Bakin. And that's another consideration to make too if you're trying to figure out how to get more use out of your assets. I don't see anything that's turning invisible when we rotate the camera. We do have some billboarded assets in the form of these suits of armor, but other than that, everything is visible from all corners. So you've got lots of versatility with your camera with this pack. I really like our thrones. The thrones look lovely as well. We've got a tiny painting on the wall. I like that. Banners, more stuff that you could easily edit if you chose to open up the textures in a paint program, change them around. So while you have one specific banner here, you can make many banners for your many kingdoms and your many factions. So Castle Day, Castle Night is another map that comes with this. I'm thinking that if I had exited the castle while it was in nighttime mode, we would have gotten to see what this looks like. But we'll go ahead and look at it in the editor itself. Just go ahead and preview in the editor. Quite nice. Really, really nice. It's more than just, wow, we could actually zoom out pretty far and see how far, how big this map actually is, how far it extends to the borders of the map area. Pretty big. It's not really much bigger than I expected, but it is pretty big. I like that. Our terrains here are separated castle exterior and castle interior. So you have lots of tiles further separated into carpet. We've got blues, we've got reds, we've got greens, stones. So you've got all of your different stone floors, which I, again, repeat, this is definitely potential to be used for dungeon flooring. And with all of these different configurations of stone, you have all kinds of different looks you can pull off in the same dungeon. So nobody gets like same face syndrome, same wall syndrome. The tile folder, not style, is probably my favorite. We have a lot of different tiles in this folder, including some castle floors that are cracked, really lending credence to my ruins and dungeons theorying. We're doing a lot of experimental words today. We've got some covered in what could be sand, what could be dirt, and because it's the top of the tile, you could pull off something like this, or rather like this. There we go, and the tops of your tiles can all maintain a same color if you'd like. Should actually switch to the day map so we can see that just a little bit easier. And we'll stay outside the castle wall just to make this a little simpler. There we go, give the impression that I've actually made a map at some point in my life here. Plus key to get these nice and extended out of the ground. Look at how lovely these pixel textures look on the side of the terrains when you bring them up and out. I didn't even do anything. All I did was bring these up from their positions in the ground. And I did that just so I could take the paint bucket tool and change them and give you an idea of what some walls might look like in this style. Switch right over to a different wall, paint bucket those. Whoops, I paint bucketed the wrong tile, but you know what, that's okay. I'm really getting a Castlevania vibe from these textures. It's all about the coloration and the way that the tiles are designed. The bricks individually in the tile are designed to kind of play off the light. Not really the light of the 3D map, not really the lighting in the scene, but more the implied, invented light that the tile is establishing is there. That's really cool. We've got wall tiles. We don't have to use the tiles. We've got legitimate wall tiles that we can use and flood these. Again, wrong tile, didn't want to do that. There we go. And these wall tiles, they've got windows. When you pull these up and out, we've got windows on the side of that one that I just showed you. No windows on this one. Different bottoms along here. Minor differences, but important ones. And then something called Z, which just really allows us to draw black on the ground if we want. We have a lot of objects in the objects folder. I'm going to go into the prefabs map and explore that before we get into the objects folder, however. Lots of prefabs here, many of which are from the objects tab, so I won't really have to go too far into that stuff, but here are just a bunch of prefab models that you can take and pull from for your own game. Just copy and paste these. You've got all kinds of stuff that's available just as they are in the object selection, and then you've got collections of objects that sort of are cobbled together to show you how you can use these in combination with each other. And this here, this black void that this door leads into, that's probably a fantastic use of the Z tile brought up. Towers connected by bridges. There's our thrones, and we actually have 3 different colors of throne and 3 different colors of chair. And I talked about banners earlier, but there's actually 3 different banners here. So look at this. We've got a little bit of a Game of Thrones tribute almost, it seems. We've got our Starks and our Baratheons and our Lannisters, right? It's been a long time. It's been a very long time. We've got weapons to hang on the wall. We've got lots of different doors and gates, portcullises. Now that I'm calling this a portcullis, I think it's a window. Yeah, Castle Window is the name of that file, but it looks just like a 3D miniature of a portcullis that I use with a board game all the time. We've got lots of different columns, flags. Let us continue to look at more of the prefabs. We have different towers here with the tops in different colors. So you can actually just go ahead and make your 3 different warring kingdoms. You don't even have to do any additional tinkering to go ahead and make a complete 3-kingdom scenario, your own castle drama, your own fantasy, your own distraction of royal chairs, play of seats, fun of toilets. All right, that's going too far. Zoom way out just to give you a better look at some of the larger models here. kind of escape the scale so we can get a better perspective going on. You can make some pretty elaborate castles, and don't think that these could be just set pieces. There's plenty here to allow you to play around with the idea of making them as playable level pieces, so your characters can run and jump and crawl all over this stuff. All right, and then some of the objects we can just go ahead and stamp down just to get a bit of a look at them. Not that they're not already stamped here, but these are all prefabs, and it would be useful to know what we have to work with as far as like just pieces. So very easy to line up, really simple to check out that preview box, and then whoops, messed it up. That was a me thing. That wasn't the DLC. There we go. Again, just a block, a straight up block. It's called the modular wall corner, but it is just a block. And you know what? I really like that. I appreciate just the block. 4 different grasses, by the way. Let's zoom into the ground. And I know some of you really like your grasses. We're going to go ahead and show you these grasses. They've all got their own different animations. They've all got their own just slightly offset movement to them. So you can make a whole field with all these different grasses. And it should actually be very immersive. Shouldn't be demanding on your player's build of their PC at all. Different vines for your players to regard with complete apathy, or perhaps try to climb only to fail miserably, unless you've got some scripting in there that will allow them to go ahead and climb the vines. That would be pretty epic. Yeah, it turns out that this map actually has all of the objects on it, which is a pretty great way to show all of your stuff. It really makes it easy on people running YouTube channels who just want to show this stuff off in their videos. But it is really a great way, just in case people are not watching stuff like this, to get an idea of what kind of content is in a pack. So kudos to the creator for that. And that was a hopefully thorough look at the PixelScapes Castle Pack. Check out the details in the description below, and please let me know what you thought of this presentation and of this content, this here, the assets inside of the presentation of the content. And I will see you, as always, in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.